You have a powerful new campaign, Love Your Jewish Neighbor. What can you tell us about this?
Well, we've been very, very alarmed. I personally have been very alarmed with the growth of anti-Semitism. Before October 7th, anti-Semitism, according to the Anti-Defamation League, was at the highest level since World War II. But since October 7th, anti-Semitism has grown another 300%. So we're at the highest level of anti-Semitism since Kristallnacht, which was an event in 1933 where Germans destroyed Jewish workplaces, burned synagogues, and I'm afraid we're back in that place again and very, very concerned.
What is driving, and I want to get into the campaign, but what is driving this alarming rise? Even before October 7th, as you were saying, we had seen numerous times where there was a rise in anti-Semitism. What do you think is driving this real growth in it that we've seen even since October 7th?
Well, I'll give you two reasons. The first is that there's so much Palestinian propaganda, Hamas propaganda, Hezbollah propaganda, really generated out of Iran that perpetrates, that promulgates Israel as the perpetrator of evil against the Palestinians, trying to commit genocide against the Palestinian people. Israel is the aggressor, and they've done a fantastic job of spreading that propaganda around the world on college campuses, including throughout the United States. And it's actually permeated the culture now. So you have younger people that are standing up not only for the Palestinians, but for terrorist organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah. That's the first thing. The second for us Christians is we know the scriptures tell us that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in high places. And so this is a spiritual issue. And we're fighting against a satanic effort to destroy the Jewish people, which we've seen for over 3,500 years.
Well, and I appreciate you breaking that down because I think it often gets lost in this conversation. We don't always talk about that part of it, and that is the most essential piece of understanding what is going on before us right now. When it comes to Love Your Jewish Neighbor, this campaign, what are you hoping to see churches, individual Christians do as a result of it?
Yeah, great question. I woke up this morning and I wrote down three names on a little card here. These three names: Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Corrie ten Boom, Oskar Schindler. Who were they? These were three people that stood up for the Jewish people during the Holocaust. And two of them lost their lives because of this. Or actually, one lost their life. Two continued on and proclaimed the need to stand with the Jewish people. We call these righteous Gentiles. We need righteous Gentiles. We need Christians that will stand up for the Jewish people, that will speak out against anti-Semitism, that will truly love their Jewish neighbor, not just in word, but in deed. Maybe they'll need to house Jewish people in the days ahead. I hope it doesn't get that bad, but it may very well. But Jesus said that we need to love our brethren, his brethren. And I believe his brethren are the Jewish people. Jesus was Jewish, and he cares about his Jewish brethren. And we need to care as Christians about his Jewish brethren now more than ever. And I want to ask you, are you willing to stand up for the Jewish people even unto death? I'll tell you who was willing to: Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who passed away; Corrie ten Boom, who lived her life talking about loving the Jewish people; and Oskar Schindler, who's probably the most famous, that saved so many Jewish people during the Holocaust. We need righteous Gentiles.
Yeah, and you think about Corrie ten Boom in particular, what she went through in concentration camps, being treated very much the same way the Jewish people were being treated as a result of her willingness to step out. And no, she knew what the cost was, right? Her family knew what the cost was, and yet they did that.
Yes, and she lost almost her entire family in the concentration camps. I said that two out of three died, two lived, but many lost their family members. And of course, Dietrich Bonhoeffer was killed in the concentration camps along with the Jewish people because he stood up and stood out for the Jewish people. And we need Christians who are willing to take that stand today, now more than ever, like the Holocaust.
So where do you want to send people? Where can they go to get more information? Because I know a lot of people, they'll hear this, they'll say, I love my Jewish neighbor. What can I do? Where can I go to get information? Where would you send them for that?
We set up a simple website, loveyourjewishneighbor.com. It's that simple. It has information on there, how to stand with the Jewish people, how to pray. It's just an informational website, and there's a commercial on there that I think you can download and send to friends, post it. It's just a very simple holiday ad that shows Jews and Christians loving each other and breaking bread together. And that's what we're asking people to do. Watch the ad and mimic the ad with your Jewish neighbors. Love them. Reach out to them.
I so appreciate you breaking this all down. Again, the campaign is Love Your Jewish Neighbor. I appreciate you joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Billy.